Hello, everybody. Welcome. I'm pleased to welcome you to the 2025 annual meeting of the IAJGS, and welcome to the representatives of societies and the members of members. We're very pleased that you are here. I want to open by introducing Emily Garber, who our current secretary and incoming vice president, who will report on the results of the recent election.
Good afternoon. Okay. So we had election every other year. We elect officers, and then the off year, or the on year, whichever you prefer to call it, we elect members at large of the board. So this year was an election of officers. We had a nominating committee of Steve Stein, yay, Sally Mizrach, I don't know if she's here or not, no, and Jarrett Ross, who's over there. Okay, and we thank them very much. It's always a challenging job, but somebody's got to do it, and you may get tapped in the future, so be aware. Okay, so we had candidate applications, and I won't go through the entire procedure. If you have questions about that, I can answer that at a later date to keep this short and sweet. But we did get the applications. We sent the final, okay, we got candidate applications by the 15th of March, 2025. We sent the slate out with a call for additional nominations on the 7th of May, 2025. We had a due date on that, and so that by June 16th, 2025, we were able to send out the final ballot, which was the slate of one candidate for each position that the board was suggesting. And voting for those candidates ended on the 21st of July. We had 40 ballots counted, 46 were returned, 4 people voted twice, oops, but we caught you, you know how that goes. One did not specify a choice, they left it out by mistake, I hope, and one did not identify their name or JGS, so we really couldn't count that one because we didn't know who they were. Candidates are elected when they receive a majority of the votes that are cast. So as it turns out, and including abstentions, which some of those I guess might be considered abstentions. So these are the officers for the next 2 years, starting now, or at the end of this meeting, I guess. We have Susan Weinberg for president. Yay! Emily Garber for vice president. Debbie Krupkin, you over there somewhere? Oh, there she is. And she will take over as secretary. Thank you very much. Aileen Franklin, treasurer, our new treasurer. We're very happy about that as well. And Jane didn't need to be elected because she's been she's been the president for the last 4 years, and she automatically becomes the immediate past president and sighs a great sigh of relief. Yes. Yes. So thank you.
What?
Important thing I forgot. Please. Sorry. We have a list going around on a small piece of paper because I left my paper up in my room, okay? And what we want is those people, we don't need everybody to sign it. What we want is those people who are representing their JGS here to please sign that and let us know that you were here, and that will be put into our minutes for the meeting so we have a good sense of which JGSs were present. We won't actually, right now I'm not thinking that we're going to have any particular votes, but it's always a good idea to know who is present in any meeting. So that's what we're doing. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. So of the officers who were elected 5 minutes ago, 2 are new to the board. One is Aileen Franklin, our new treasurer, and Debbie Krupkin, our new secretary. Aileen, who's from Ann Arbor, Michigan, is a licensed certified public accountant and has spent many years bringing knowledge of accounting and business to various nonprofit organizations. Debbie, a part-time professional genealogist for many years, currently serves on the board of directors of the Jewish Genealogical Society of Illinois and is its former president. And we're very pleased to welcome both Aileen and Debbie. Thank you for being willing to serve. In addition to the slate of officers, we are fortunate to have 6 directors at large whose terms extend until next year, 1 year from now. So our at-large directors include Krista Cowan, Ed Donaghy, Risa Datesman Haywood, Raquel Levy Toledano, Jarrett Ross, and Seema Velkovich. So we are very pleased to have them with us for another year. 2 of our current officers, both valued colleagues, are retiring from the board. Marlis Humphrey, who is now the immediate past president, and she's the founder and current president of the Lador Vador Foundation, and Joe Tarshish, who could not be here today, unfortunately, treasurer and who has been with us for 1 term. So we will miss you, and thank you for everything you've done. Finally, yes, please. Finally, but hardly least, I want to recognize and thank the smart and devoted group of volunteers who made this conference possible. Under the leadership of Conference Chair Judy Missel, co-chair Hadassah Lipsius, and local chair Irv Adler, the conference management included the following people. I'll name just a number of them who are chairs of various functions. Program chair Dan Oren, registration chair Cheryl Shapiro, marketing chair Betsy Thal Gephardt, the Allen County Public Library Genealogy Center director, I saw him come in here, Kurt Witcher, volunteer coordinators Fran Adler and Elizabeth Hodges, and sponsor exhibitor liaison Diane Jacobs. We are very grateful for their work and the work of the committees that they oversaw, and for the, I believe, very successful conference that has resulted. So, yes, please. Now, on to our business meeting and reports on important activities and achievements of the past year. If you have questions of our speakers, you will have an opportunity to ask them questions during the Q&A session, which follows these talks and at the end of the program. So hold your questions until all the speakers have had their say. Our first speaker is Susan Weinberg, incoming president, who will also deliver the annual financial report prepared by Treasurer Joe Tarshish, who was unable to attend the conference, unfortunately. So, Susan, go ahead.
So I will be reporting on Joe's report, and I'll hit the highlights for you. These are not yet audited numbers, so there may be subsequent changes. But basically, you will see that we have investment income that is off of the balances that we have on the summary of financial position, and we invest fairly short term because we're always preparing for the next conference, and that's a rather low risk scenario. We generate about $6,000 in membership dues. In addition to dues, we receive contributions to both the Stern Fund and the Travel Fund. The Stern Fund provides a $3,000 grant each year to an awardee, and the Travel Fund, the board meets twice in person a year at the conference and then during Roots Tech. For the Roots Tech meeting, members pay up to $500 for airfare out of pocket, and the Travel Fund supplements that. And that's especially important because we are an international organization and we have international members, and we want to encourage their ability to join us. One of the new items that you'll see on our statement of activities and also under net assets in our statement of financial position is the Ron Ahrens Fund and the related donations. Ron passed away last year, and we really miss him, especially at times like this, because I remember him right here. And, we had a donor contribute to start a fund, and others also contributed to honor Ron's memory. We now have, at the end of the year, we had $12,000 in the fund, and we felt that its proceeds needed to be directed to something that reflected Ron's passions. And for those of you who knew Ron, you know that one of his many passions was using technology to solve challenges and also in the process provide benefits to JGSs. So we used our first draw from that fund to apply to the calendar, the new calendar, which many of you are now using to publicize your events. And if you're not, we encourage you to check it out. So that's a new item, and we'll continue to look at opportunities to apply that, which will add benefits. We have a few Zoom entries, and this relates to a program where we offered the ability to participate in a discounted Zoom program that provided a business account with up to 300 attendees. And it proved to be somewhat complex to administer, particularly when we had groups that were entering throughout the year. So we have changed the structure accordingly, and going forward, if you want to participate in this program, you need to advise Steve Jaron at tech@iajgs.org no later than December 2025 for a February start date, and earlier is preferable. We had net conference income of $54,061 as of this accounting, again, subject to final audit numbers, and we paid out a $3,000 grant for both Stedman and Stern Fund awards. The last Stedman grant is expected in 2026, and then that fund will be fully depleted. So we're going into that with 2,000, and we'll round it out to 3. Let's see, the statement of financial position has flows from the Fort Wayne conference reflected in both receivables and payables, and also in the investment account. The investment account has grown to, at this point, to over $400,000. We had a $70,000 receivable from the London conference that came in, so there's lots of flows. But the number also grew because it includes the significant fundraising efforts of the Fort Wayne team of over $100,000. And that is thanks largely to Irv Adler's efforts. So we are grateful for that. And I would add, though, most of the fundraising that's captured in the investment accounts has since been deployed in this conference. So, and I think that is it. If you have further questions, I will refer you to Joe because he has more of the detail.
We will now hear from Krista Cowan, who is chair of our marketing committee. Krista.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Marketing is kind of a big job, and it is not just me that chairs that committee. It is also Emily, and the two of us together meet every other week with the committee that we've put together, and there are some really interesting efforts that are often requested of us, but the most recent is this volunteer recruitment. So I know that each of you in your respective organizations, if I was to ask you what one of your top 3 challenges is, you're going to say it's volunteers, right? And getting them. And so we, with this conference, have kicked off a volunteer recruitment initiative. You may have seen the table toppers out in the, the conference center. There's flyers at our booth. We're doing a drawing this week. But the idea is that we are trying to encourage people by letting them know that volunteering does not have to take over their entire life. I know some of you may feel otherwise. We appreciate your efforts. So one of the things that we are really trying to market, and again, this is the initial push, but you will see this start to pop up in our social media feed and on our website and in other communication, is that you can volunteer with as little as 1 to 2 hours a month. Because there are ways that we can get people involved and use them, and we want them to know that it doesn't have to be an all-consuming thing. And I think that that's probably probably part of the misconception. And part of that misconception sometimes comes with the way that we market ourselves. Everything is marketing. Right? Every time you open your mouth to talk about IAJGS, to talk about your chapter, your organization and what you're doing, you are marketing Jewish genealogy, and you are marketing your organization, and you are marketing us as an organization. And so I would just encourage you to make sure that you kind of drill this messaging into your head, which is anybody can volunteer with as little as 1 to 2 hours a month. It doesn't have to be hours and hours a week of time, because here's what I've learned. We can hook them with 1 to 2 hours a month. Because I'm pretty sure that's how we got Chuck. Right? I'm pretty sure that's how we got a lot of you. And if people then want to go further, they want to do more, we've given them an entrance to do that. But if we overwhelm them with everything that they might need to do, or everything that we might need from them, they're going to run screaming in the night. So everything is marketing. Make sure you tell people 1 to 2 hours a month is what they can do, and then think about what those jobs are. So what you are going to see from us as a marketing committee over the next several months, you're going to see blog posts and you're going to see Facebook posts. So the blog posts all show up on the website, iajgs.org, and we are going to talk about different opportunities for people to volunteer and what that looks like. And if you have ways that you need people to volunteer in your organizations that might be different than the broader organization, let me know. And I'd be happy to write a blog post and to make sure that we advertise that or market that. But the ways that people can get involved, there's myriad ways. Again, our marketing committee meets for an hour every other week. And if I could just get a couple more people to come to that meeting for an hour every other week, and then commit to 1 more hour of work during the month, think about the things we could get done. And so that is the kind of the new marketing push for us. Now we will continue to support the calendar. Jarrett runs our YouTube channel, so that kind of sits in between tech and marketing, and some of the opportunities there. And we also have tried to build up the website with the help of Jay as our webmaster, which we really appreciate, and with the help of some of our social media channels. Anytime we get leads, we also then try to push them back out to you all as the respective chapters. So as people come to us wanting to know more about Jewish genealogy, we are pushing them back out to you to join their local chapters and get involved in that way. So if there's anything else you need from us, please let me know. I'm going to continue to serve on the marketing committee. I don't know if Emily will as she moves into new roles, but hopefully. But we're happy to continue to help you with your marketing efforts as well. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Now, Susan. Susan is coming back to the mic in her role as head of membership. Where Susan has served as chair of membership for several years, and she will speak about membership and some related subjects.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. A little update on our membership. We currently have 86 members, 25 international, 61 U.S., and I think we're 15 international total. And it's, we're up 1 from last year. The underlying membership, which just includes the JGS regular component and special interest groups, is virtually flat. It's around 9,800. Post-COVID, we saw some shakeout with smaller members, and we gained larger members. So it's been an interesting mix, and often they're associate members, and those don't count within the underlying membership number. One of the things I find interesting is just under 10% of our membership are either Jewish historical societies or affiliated with Jewish historical societies. So that's, it's actually an area that we had in our strategic plan that we wanted to focus on, and there's been a lot of organic growth, I think, in that area overall. I want to tell you a little bit about some of our new members. Yad Vashem, the Family Roots Research Section, which is headed by Sima Velkovich, who is an IAJGS board member, is the area that is focusing probably more on the genealogical aspect. She is working and doing research related to victims and survivors of the Holocaust in both Yad Vashem and Arelson archives. And they have a really interesting Facebook page that I've been following called Research Your Jewish Family Roots with Yad Vashem. So I encourage you to check that out. YIVO Foundation, and AGJA. YIVO houses, I'm going to butcher this, Genealogical Judea Argentina. And this is actually a returning organization because long ago they were a member. It was founded by Paul Armani, and he passed away in 2008. And it's had a bit of a rebirth. Dr. Guillermo Blugerman, who actually is doing some talks at the conference, is partnered with the YIVO Foundation for them to rejoin IAJGS. And we have that happen periodically. The Southern Arizona JGS in Tucson. And this has an interesting story because it was kind of a chance encounter at the last conference between Nancy Grayson, who was a former president of JGS Washington, who moved to Tucson, came to the conference and met Rich Schlesinger, who ran an existing JGS, and it wasn't affiliated with IAJGS. So, of course, Nancy said, hey, I think you should check this out. And they are now co-presidents of this new IAJGS member. I just want to mention briefly, and some of you heard us the other day in the Birds of a Feather, that we have a new calendar. As I mentioned earlier in the financials, this is a member benefit only available to members because we want you to focus in on what everyone else is doing, and we want your members to be able to access that. And it has a number of features that I think are improvements over what we had previously, specifically to time zone and the variety of styles, and you can download information. I always mention the Starting, Growing, Sustaining at JGS. You'll find this on the homepage, this symbol, and if you click on it, it will take you to a manual, which is a knowledge base on starting, growing, and sustaining a JGS. And we also invite you, if you want to write an article for it, if you are working on something that you think it's not addressed and should be, happy to incorporate that. Our liaison program is another thing that we offer. It's a point of connection. Ina Getzoff is the liaison manager, and we have a lot of coordination with the board, and we have liaisons who are either all presidents or past presidents, so we have a lot of expertise within that group. I want to talk a little bit about COVID, post-COVID, what that means for us all. Obviously, COVID had an impact in that it created virtual programming. And that had a lot of benefits and increased accessibility. It gave us wider access to speakers, particularly those of us in flyover territory. It's less expensive to run, and it has a less geography-bound membership. So many of us have 25% of our members who are outside of our geographic area. Now, that can also present lots of opportunities, but also some challenges, which is one is how do you provide access to those outside of the area, which means you're typically looking at either virtual or hybrid. And what we hear a lot is that it's more difficult to build connections with members when you don't have that face-to-face contact. And that in turn affects our ability to develop volunteers and new leadership. So JGSs are really experimenting with different approaches to build that sense of connection and interaction between their members and their leadership. We explored that a little bit yesterday in a leadership Birds of a Feather, in which people had lots to say, which was really a good session. And we explored sustainability and how to develop new leadership, which is always an issue that every group deals with. Now, it's not just JGSs that are dealing with the post-COVID, because IAJGS is as well. Post-COVID, we have learned that conference costs have gone up significantly. Food and beverage what we're hearing back is often 3 times or up to 3 times as much as what we've paid historically. And we're not alone in noting that. Other genealogy conferences are doing kind of a mix of virtual and in-person. If they're doing in-person, it's often in smaller cities. So we've created a committee to kind of reimagine conferences. We're early in the process. We plan to reach out to you to ask your input as we explore future conferences. And we actually want to reach out to a broader arena because we want to also reach people who don't go to conferences and learn why not and what alternatives we can also offer to them. So what we're looking at are different formats such as conference centers, such as we're doing right here. This is kind of an experiment. And it's a different structure than the hotel structure we have done traditionally. We're going to be flexible as to time of year. We're going to look at the length of the conference and consider different locations to manage financial viability. So we're continuing to evaluate how we can create opportunities for you in learning and interaction to make our to make our conferences rewarding. And it's a project, and we'll keep you posted as we come to conclusions and probably try some more experiments. What I wanted to say is because we are going through these changes at this point in time, we are going to do a virtual conference in 2026, and Todd Knowles will be our conference chair. And we had hoped he would be here today, but he's ill. So unfortunately, he's not going to be able to give you too much of a briefing of that, but we will make sure to keep you informed as we have more information. Yeah, yeah. And I would add, we know that in person is an important thing because we all feel that. We're trying to figure out the best way to do it. So.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you. I will, our next speaker is in fact not here, so I am going to offer her report. And this is Jan Mizels-Allen, who's as you probably know, many of you know, the long-standing chair of the Public Records Access Monitoring Committee, PRAMC. So Jan has prepared a summary of 2025 events that I will report on. Okay. First of all, let me remind you of the charter of the PRAMC. The committee was formed in 2003, and its mission is to monitor activities of libraries, archives, and other repositories looking at access and preservation of genealogical materials, and also to monitor legislative and regulatory activities that have to do with records of genealogical value, and then to communicate that news to the board so that we can, as appropriate, lobby in favor of greater access. Okay, we can move it again. Okay, let me look at the reach of PRAMC. Here you see the number of subscribers, the number of alerts that email messages that Jan has sent out, and the variety of organizations that have subscribed to PRAMC alerts. And let's see, here we go. Okay, and here is its reach, its geographic reach, which is pretty impressive. Countries, states, U.S. territories, organizations. So the word gets out to many organizations and people from Jan's committee. And one example of its success in lobbying, in moving for a move to decrease access was in fact squashed, was our collaboration this year, successful collaboration with other genealogical organizations to prevent the USCIS from increasing its fees for documents. and they were going to increase the fees significantly. And thanks to our organization and many other genealogical groups, that was prevented. So that's an example of the kind of the successes that the PRAMC and its sister organizations have realized. Jan regularly sends out what she calls access alerts, and she reports on activities of, as you can see, a very wide variety of organizations. I don't think I need to recite them, but you get the idea. It's very broad. And what we want to do was to encourage every organization to have at least one person who subscribes to the access alerts, so that your group is up on things and knows what's happening. And it's separate from other listservs, and it's Jan's own, it's the committee's own alert. And so I encourage you, if you're not tuned in, to subscribe to the records access alerts. And thank you. Okay, and here is how you subscribe, and that is, I believe, the last word that we have. So I'm sorry that Jan could not be here, but I'm grateful to her for preparing this material and for sharing it with you. And I'm grateful for the work that she does. So,
Okay. All right. Okay. So we've, the last several years, we have been making an effort to make sure that IAJGS is represented at not only our conference, but also at other non-Jewish genealogy conferences. There certainly is, throughout the United States, for a variety of reasons, including, of course, DNA testing, many, many more people who are realizing that they have or should have interests in Jewish genealogy research in their own families. And when we go to Roots Tech every year, we always meet a whole bunch of people who come up to us and say, you know, they're just so excited to see us there, because they are craving this kind of knowledge that is a little bit, some of the methodology, some of the techniques are a little different than other types of genealogy. And so this is a service as well as an opportunity to recruit people. So I want to thank, each year we depend upon, depending upon which conference we go to, we're always at Roots Tech, and we depend heavily upon JGS in Utah, and Gary Bowen, Barry Mann, Kathy Kirkpatrick, who's their president, Loretta Walker, and Josh Perlman helped us quite a bit this year, as well as our entire board. And additional Jewish genealogists who were at the conference as well chipped in and helped us, and we're always very grateful. Particularly this year, we had leadership helping us make the booth that we had at Roots Tech a success, and that was Ina Getzoff and Alan Huss. And as I said, we had several other booth volunteers, and I just realized I may have left off a few people, and I apologize if I did, but we did have people who weren't even on the board, like Deborah Hoffman, which was really nice. So you can see, you know, we try to put out as much information about our individual JGSs as has been shared with us. And so when I do a call, or whoever does it, a call for brochures, please respond, because we do put them out on our table and many of them get picked up. And if we get people signing up for on our mailing list, and we note that they are in your area, we will forward their names on to you as well as someone that you should contact.
Okay. So Marlis Humphrey, all of you know, I think, past IAJGS president, and also founder and head of the Lador Vidor Foundation. And Marlis will report on two initiatives with which IAJGS is partnering with the Dorvador Foundation. One is AI training, and another is a program to recognize the Jewish role in American history. So Marlis will explain both of these to you.
Thank you, Jane. And with regards to the AI for Jewish genealogy, that's not really a partnership. That's my parting gift as I step off the board. So that is all wholly IAJGS, and hopefully will continue to be. It's just the beginning. So you've probably noticed AI is everywhere in the news these days, right? It's changing how we work, how we learn, and most importantly, how we research our family history. So here's the exciting part. The IAJGS is positioning you, our member societies, to be local leaders in AI for Jewish genealogy. So this is your chance to spark new energy in your community, to attract younger members, and to offer fresh value to your existing members. We're starting here in Fort Wayne with the IAJGS AI Bite of the Day. How many of you have seen it? Just a few of you. Go by the IAJGS booth. It's at the end of one of the aisles there, the second aisle, and definitely check it out. It's a new tip of the day revealed each morning at 8 a.m., posted at our IAJGS booth and on our AI for Jewish Genealogy Hub, which is our new webpage, at iajgs.org/AI. And each tip you'll find comes with several things: a quick explainer video, a transcript of the video, and even a pre-built GPT prompt so you can try it yourself, experiment, and extend it. By the end of the week, all 5 tips will be there for you, ready for you to go ahead and use and share with your members. This is just the beginning. After the conference, we're giving you a ready-made program to run locally. We're going to be scheduling a society leadership webinar this fall, and we're going to show you in that webinar how to form your own AI for Jewish genealogy interest group, your own AI SIG, if you will. This is just like the DNA interest groups many societies launched about a decade ago, which brought in new members and, more importantly, many younger members. So we're going to give you a how-to recipe, topics, activities, resources, and the AI bites you can share so you can launch quickly without having to start from scratch. So your role, be the spark in your community, show people how AI can break through brick walls, translate documents, uncover hidden records, and bring ancestors' stories to life. So we're not leaving you here on your own. That new webpage, our new AI Hub, will be your resource center. It'll include monthly AI bites that we talked about to keep content fresh, a searchable library of AI use cases that we'll be developing, real examples from real genealogists with demo videos and tips. And we'll also be providing access to recordings of our International AI Interest Group webinars. We don't know how many we're going to have a year, maybe quarterly. It's not really determined yet, but we'll hear more about that soon. And there we will have experts and enthusiasts share what's working now in the field of AI. You can point your members to this webpage for inspiration, and you can even contribute your own successes to inspire others worldwide. So think of what the IAJGS is doing here at the international level, not as replacing what you would be doing. We'll be doing it less frequently, and we'll be going in less depth than is possible for you to do locally in your own society's AI interest group. This is just a launching point for AI topics, learnings, and sharings that you can do with your society, and a place to promote what you are doing locally. AI is a tool that can transform Jewish genealogy, and IAJGS is putting the tools, content, and the community in your hands. So here's your society's next opportunity. Go home, lead the way, start an AI interest group, share the AI bites, attend the webinar, show your members and your future members what's possible. And together and with AI, we can make Jewish genealogy not just relevant, but irresistible to the next generation. That's it. Okay. Yeah, so now we're going to talk about Jewish America 250. All right. So Jewish America 250, or as we're calling it, JA 250 for short, is our once in 50 years chance to put Jewish family history in front of a truly national audience and to showcase your society locally while we amplify you nationally. There won't be another opportunity like this at this scale for another half century. I won't be here, I don't know about any of you. So we need to carpe diem. Why now? Many of you may be aware that our 250th birthday as a country is coming, July 4th, 2026. And if we don't take a participation, actually a leadership role, our Jewish stories are at risk of being sidelined. And at the same time, we have younger audiences who want approachable, bite-sized ways to connect easily with their heritage. And Jewish America 250 is intended to meet both needs and points people straight to you. So what is Jewish America 250? It's a coast-to-coast program delivered through pop-up story stations and a national digital hub, so people discover Jewish stories in their neighborhoods and on their devices, and then find your society as the trusted guide to the rest of their journey. This program is being run as a cooperative coalition program. The Lador Vidor Foundation is the leading catalyst for the program, and the IAJGS is a key partner in the coalition. This is Heritage Trails, just one of the examples of the types of program components. Place-based engagement matters for people. Heritage Trails brings people into the story where it happened: streets, synagogues, businesses, neighborhoods, making your collections and your expertise tangible and local. We're going to be pairing those types of components with community recording drives, quick, welcoming ways to capture memories, photos, and names. Each voice recorded is another person stepping into your orbit as a member, a volunteer, or a partner. And when curiosity sparks, this is what many of you do. You have Maven corners. You all call them something different. Here we're calling them the Discovery Concierge. So that's going to route the public to the right first steps, beginner's tools, a starter tree clinic, or a local event. So a casual question from an attendee in the program becomes a satisfying first discovery with your help. We're also packaging irresistible microstories. This one starting with Chaim Solomon, the financier of the American Revolution. We're also including stories about Hedy Lamarr, Mo Berg, the Rosenwald schools. These are stories that people, young people especially, who are not familiar with these stories and contributions by our Jewish community to our American history, that they can share. Each piece points back to beginner resources and your programming. To turn interest into action, we'll deploy 5-minute try-it-now experiences like Ask Rosenberg. It starts with, what's in my name? Where am I from? It's perfect for pop-ups and perfect handoffs to your society. Our network is built for impact. More than 80 member societies. How many did we hear now? 86? Okay, and this slide's not current. We need to update the website. 56 of them are in 27 states. This is the largest opportunity in decades to attract new members and followers because we're meeting people where they already are. This whole program is low lift, high impact. Plug in with a repurpose or create a small set of content, host a simple activation, and help amplify locally. The national team handles the packaging, the kitting, and the shared infrastructure. So how do we roll this out? Well, we're in timing-wise, this is the schedule. We're in outreach during this quarter. This fall, we will finalize our partners. Quarter 1 of 2026 is content development. We'll have a soft launch in April of 2026. Delivery begins May 1st for Jewish American Heritage Month, and then runs through the birthday at July 4th. The window to ride the national wave is right ahead. So what we need from you, here we go. The leaders webinar, we're going to hold a webinar for society leaders where we'll go into this and all the potential program components in much more depth. In late September, we'll have a full walkthrough. But what we're going to be looking for so we can start implementing as quick as possible is a quick decision right after that webinar from you and your societies. Are you in? Are you out? What will you bring to the table? Repurposed content, a pop-up site, an oral history mini drive, a beginner's clinic, to be determined. So start getting prepared. Name your Jewish America 250 point person. Start brainstorming, listing 2 to 3 assets that you think can be repurposed under the guise of and branding of this program, Jewish America 250. Identify 1 to 2 potential host sites for the pop-ups. Flag any permission questions early. This is outreach on steroids, if you've ever seen it before, to compare to what we typically do, right? It's a lot more than just putting up a poster. There won't be another chance like this in 50 years. So let's lead locally, let's connect nationally, and welcome the next generation into Jewish genealogy. Before I finish, hold it. I want to thank the marketing committee. Let's see, Emily, Krista, Jarrett, Jane, and also Steve Stein from JGS New York, Sonia Lippitz, Greater Boston, Alan Huss, I saw you, Palm Beach County, Harry Motes, I saw you earlier. Okay, did I say Greater Washington earlier? Greater Boston, Greater Washington. Okay, we got it all straight. Thank you. They were very helpful in seeing what's possible and starting to visualize what this program can really mean for all our JGSs. Thank you.
Thank you, Marlis. That was terrific. Yes. Yes, I am. Yeah. 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 No, I thought we would. Yeah, I have just a very few remarks, and then we're open to questions. So okay, I just want to make a couple of comments that really follow up on both Susan's and Krista's reports. As far as a virtual conference, you know that is our plan for 2026. But we are also at the same time planning for an in-person conference for 2027 and are already exploring locations. And we are interested in knowing if your JGS has any interest in serving as a host. And when we learn of who has interest, we then explore the financial feasibility of particular places. But we would love to hear from you if you're interested in hosting 2027, or for that matter, 2028, because we actually do need more places in the pipeline. And so we would love to hear your thoughts. We have collected a lot of data on attendee opinions for past conferences, and we'll be asking you guys for opinions. So I think in planning the future conferences, we have a lot of very useful information on what works and what doesn't, and I'm very optimistic that we will do a very good job of planning. So that's one comment I want to make. The other is I want to follow up on Krista's information about volunteers. I brought and left on the table in the back some flyers that are intended to engage or interest volunteers and give you information on where to visit, what website to visit in order to indicate your interest in volunteering. And as Krista mentioned, that doesn't mean turning over your life to the job. It means volunteering some period of time. And we list the various committees that we have formed in the last year. And the committees are not, many of them are not yet in fact functioning because we need volunteers to work on these committees. So you can see if any of these committees meet your interests, and we would love to hear from you. And to make it a little sweeter, we are holding a raffle at the end of the banquet, and the raffle prize is free registration for next year's conference. But the only people who are eligible to have tickets in the raffle are those who have signed up to express interest in volunteering. So just know, and so there are a bunch of flyers that I left on the table back there. That is, those are the two comments I wanted to make, and I did want to leave plenty of time for your comments, and for your questions, which we will do now. So thank you. Thanks very much. Okay, let's go.
So we will have a blog post up by the end of this week about the AI Hub so that you can have access to that information, and then you can share that out. We'll also post it on the Facebook page. For the Jewish America 250 stuff, we do still have some preliminary work to do, so we will send out an email blast to the president's list as soon as we have the details of that and kind of what the next steps are, and that will include all of the information that Marlis just shared.
So if you that mic was set up for you to use for questions so that we can be sure everybody hears you. So we're open now for questions, and you clearly have one, so please go ahead.
Sharon Sherman, Central New York, chapter Syracuse, for those who don't know where Central New York is. So I loved your PowerPoint, but I think I missed, what is a pop-up event? I didn't really get it. Yeah. Okay.
So pop-up is kind of vernacular for a temporary exhibit. And so it's a very quick to assemble and easy to take down after I think the 65 days of our celebration. And it will be a 10 by 12 kind of an arch, very simple to construct, with displays and desks and things where we'll be able to have these different components that people will be able to interact with. So it's a physical instantiation, but there also will be a digital version as well.
You're looking for chapters or groups who would find in their community a place where we want to do this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Sounds like fun.
So partner if you have a Jewish Historical Society, you have a JCC, a Federation building, a synagogue, partner with them. Any building that has foot traffic and wants to attract more foot traffic. And what we may find is these things are so cool that they want to leave them up afterwards. That's what we're hoping for, right? It becomes a permanent installation, kind of our little Jewish Genealogy Society hook or corner within their facility.
Doug Bank, JGS, Illinois. It all looks nice, but we don't have those connections. That's the whole point that we're having trouble with. We don't have a physical building. And all that looked like stuff that should be going to temples, not to us. So you drive the people from the temple to us, but we just don't have that. We don't have that connection to put it there in the first place.
Yeah, so we're hoping that these become community outreach collection. For example, we've had 2 meetings already with the Jewish Federation in North America. We will be working nationally with the organizations, pushing to get cooperation through their members, as well as we are doing through the JGSs, and then they meet locally. And whoever has the physical space, if you don't have physical space, we have a digital version of this as well, the Story Station. Does that help? Okay. We don't know until we try. Okay. Anyone else?
Alan Huss, JGS PBC, and my question is real quick for Jane. Where do we find the list of committees, and is it on the website?
There is a very small version of it. Yeah, do you see the, sorry, let me, yeah.
I can just even hand it.
Okay, so this is, so this is the flyer, and it has the names of those committees that would like volunteers. And if you, they're just a little thumbnail about each one. If you are interested and would like information about those committees, you should get in touch with me. And this will give you a sense. So it says everything from the development committee to the education committee to finance, annual conference planning. In any event, there's all kinds of stuff. And yeah, so grab one of these. Did you? Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea.
This side already has it.
It's also on the web.
Yeah.
It's on the internet as well.
Which is where the QR code goes.
Sorry. The QR code on that flyer takes you to a page on the website where you can fill out a form and indicate interest in any one of these or more than one of these committees. Did we give them all? Did we pass them all around?
Marlis, a quick question. Financing, where's the Where's the financing for this? And obviously, there's going to be some computers. What are we doing with them afterwards? There's a lot. How are we going to run this?
Is this one working in 2 minutes? Yeah, so basically, that's going to be the hard work. We already have a draft budget. We have a draft fundraising plan. It all depends on who participates, and you know, so that will open a lot of doors for us potentially. We won't know that, and that's why we have that hard date, end of September. Who's in, who's out, what are they bringing to the table? Then we have another full quarter, the last quarter of this year, for fundraising, precisely for that. So come the end of this calendar year, we will know, can we implement all of our vision, because the funding was easy to come by, 50% of our vision, or whatever it may be. So we're going to find our way there. And we have kind of a plan A and a plan B, you know, kind of how you do your wish lists for Hanukkah. The battery's out in that one. We're just going to pass this one.
Sorry about that. My voice is not that loud. Ina Getzoff, JGS PBC and Liaison Chair. Jane, I'm looking at this list, and folks, as Liaison Chair, I could also use some volunteers that's not on here. So you can reach me at liaison@iajgs.org, and I will be glad to answer you and describe what our liaison committee does. I talked about it yesterday, but if you are interested, please contact me or talk to me at the end of this meeting. Thank you.
Give that back to Jane.
Okay. Okay, thank you. I know about the committee and the liaison, so thank you. Other comments or questions? Yes, Doug.
I think we should end the meeting by thanking the officers, past, present, and the board for a heck of a year.
That's very nice. Thank you very much. I think we can all feel really good about the leadership that Susan will offer us, and I feel very confident that we will do very well in the next couple of years. So I think we're very lucky. Okay. Are we? Yeah. Are we ready to adjourn?
And everybody have a great dinner with us tonight, right, for the gala?
Well, the gala tonight starts at 7. Yeah. So we will see many of you then. What?
Well, this is Jane's last passing of the mic. I don't know if you know, 4 years. Come on, guys. How about a 4-year? Thank you, Jane. what you've done personally as well as for everything we're